Tonight, we are on the cusp of something that many said could never happen. It is tonight's matchup that could see the Jaguares qualify top of the South African Conference and bring a big home quarterfinal matchup here to Argentina. It all starts now though, round 17. A win here against the Sharks will see it all signed, sealed and delivered for the Jaguares and Argentinian rugby. Hello everybody and welcome along to your home of Super Rugby. We're in round 17. We have the Jaguares hosting the Sharks for what could be the deciding matchup and who will top the South African Conference. The Jaguares got a very strong lineup for the penultimate match in the round robin play, and they've got all the key guys there ready to make a big impact. You look at the team, its strength throughout, but it's really the back line that has got those massive dangers you've got to look out for. Remember, these two sides met much earlier in the competition as well, but the Jaguares were the victors on that day as well. The team will have many great features of Argentinian rugby as well as plenty of up-and-comers, but it's the power in the pack of the likes of Creevy, Kramer, Lavanini, Matera, Laguzamon and Decio that you've really got to watch out for. But that may be where you're concentrating your efforts on, and it's the back line, and especially this back three, that could cut you to ribbons. Cabelli and Bonisha are really two guys that can control a matchup. De La Fuente and Moroni are two that can carry on from that hard work, but you've got to watch out for the Carreras, the Cancelleres, and of course the Buffalis in this back line. Those guys will be the ones to finish the job. They're the dangers, and that's what the Sharks have on their plate in front of them. A very good side mentioned by the Jaguares and a very good squad of players for them to pick from as well. And there's little surprise why this team is performing so well in the 2019 Super Rugby season. And trying to stop them from getting that great reward will be the Sharks. Now, a team that has often not performed up to what is expected of them this season. Often they can be at their best, but often they can be very inconsistent and have been beaten by sides they should be beating. They've got a really, really good squad on paper and one that you really can't put too much against them as well. When you've got a team that has plenty of South African Springbok experience in the side as well and plenty of Super Rugby experience behind them, it's a big wonder why these guys are struggling in Super Rugby this season. They've got a very, very good front row, but it's all been centred around their hooker, Kieran Van Vuren, who has been very impressive in his appearances for the Sharks this season. It's the tall timber of Hiron Andrews in the second row that has led this side from the front, and he'll be partnered by Ryan Botha in the second row. The back rows where the battle is going to be won and lost for this matchup, and it's going to be Jacques Vermeulen, Tyler Paul and Daniel Dupree lining up in the back row. Into the back line where defence is going to have to be just as important as attack, and you've got to look at these two back lines and say this is a real matchup. The 9 and 10 combination is where this game could be decided. If Robert Dupree does not get his kicking game in action, it could be a long, long old night for the Sharks. But we all know what Marcus Olamipimpi, Zabusu Nkoso, and of course Karwan Bosch can deliver for the Sharks side. And of course in the midfield of Andre Esterhazen and Lakanyu Lam, it is definitely a team with possibilities to be brilliant. Can they step it up today though, or will it be the home team, the Jaguares, that get the job done? We find out over the next 80 minutes, so let's get down for the kickoff. Jaguares, Sharks, round 17 of Super Rugby. So it will be the Jaguares to kick this one off, and the ball is in the hands of Jacqueline Diaz Bonisha, and he will be kicking off for the Jaguares in the black and orange kits. The Sharks, on the other hand, will be playing in the full white tonight. They are the away side, and we are ready to get this game underway. Round 17 of Super Rugby, and it is the Jaguares who are kicking off, and the Sharks too receive it down to Vajola, who takes down the ball for the first time in the matchup, and Van Vuren pops it away to Robert Dupree, who kicks this one long and deep down into Jaguares territory, who is picked up there from Bufali, who runs it back down left-hand side. Oh, he stepped around one, a great low beat. The side step is sticking fast, and he's gone past Karwan Bosch as well. Bufali down the sideline. Bufali will score. What a start for the Jaguares, and that is a dream start for the home team. Emiliano Bufali has been amazing, and that is a fantastic start by the Jaguares fullback. Two defenders came at him, and there he goes. Bang and bang. Well, you could say bang and Bosch, because he went straight through the Sharks fullback Karwan Bosch as well. Little to no resistance. It was Strength past the first, it was Giles past the second, and there was no one stopping the kick return of Boffelli, who starts off with an absolute hiss and a roar, and a great start for the home team as well as they look for that big prize that we talked about of topping that South African conference. What a start by the Jaguares. And they are up 5-0 after, well, less than 5 minutes. They could make it 7 here, but Isha with the shot at goal. And a chance to make it 7-0. And this will get the crowd really into the game as well. They are a 16th man on the paddock there for the Jaguares, and they get their support behind them. They will go a great way to having that confidence and having that belief that they can get this job done against the Sharks. Back to Karen Bosch, who, well, won't be too happy of how this game started for his Sharks, but away we go yet again, and he kicks away to the right-hand side, and waiting for it there is Medrano, who finds his propping partner in Vivas, and he's lost the ball. It's here for the Sharks. They put it back on Robert de Pree, straight in the middle. He's got support left and right, but he doesn't choose it, and who else but Boffelli? Oh, he's got him down. He's turned it over as well, and Maroney gets a desperate throw and pass straight in front of his own sticks, and he somehow holds on to it as well. Creevy is right there, and he finds his midfielder in De La Fuente. And it is the inside centre, Geronimo De La Fuente, who kicks this one long down over halfway. A absolutely massive punt by the inside centre. And he's going to be key. I mean, let's not make any excuse about it. There's 15 men on the paddock for each side. That is going to be key to how this one plays out. Van Uren with the throw in, and he's got it straight to Lavanini in the middle. Great offload from Lavanini. Finds Cabelli. Here's Benicia. Benicia beats one. De Pree is there for Dutz. Left and right again. He's gone for the kick to the corner, and it looks like it will be easily covered from Nkosi. And he finds Karen Bosch, who tries to run it back, a little bit of interest. He's taken down, a good tackle though, and the Sharks get in and support there, full back out, and Lakanyalam is standing at the base, and he'll have a bit of a run before he goes left side and giving it away to Tyler Paul, who's lost the ball. Benicia gets it back. Here's Medrano away to Carreras. Carreras for the corner. Great tackle in Kossi, and that will stop him in its tracks. Just when the Jaguares were looking to go for their second try, it's Cabelli, short to Desio, gives it away to Kramer, and he's charging in the defensive line. Step move there between the forwards as they look to pick up a charging try. De La Fuente looking wide. He's going to have another kick as he goes very high. Has he got it close enough to the line? No. Cancellero's right there. Maroney's right there. Maroney held up, and Maroney driven back. Great defence from the Sharks. A pick and go here. It's Benicia. Benicia in the corner, but he's lost the ball, and he's knocked it on. And there's a big tussle in the end goal, but it will go back for the knock on. And a real opportunity there for the Jaguares to get themselves their second try.
Crouch. Bind.
And the Sharks will survive.
Set.
Just by the skin of their teeth. Here is the Louis Schroeder to place the ball in, and waiting for it at the back will be Dan de Pree, number 8 for the Sharks. They are just 5 metres out from their own line. They've got a lot of work to do here to get this one down the other end of the paddock. It goes short to de Pree, and Robert de Pree this time, who kicks it long down to halfway, and waiting there is who else but Boffelli. He turns, and again, it's danger time, but a good tackle this time. Nkossi's got him covered nicely, and he stops him just short of halfway. So pick and go nicely from Desio, and he goes up over the halfway line, loses the ball though, Van Buren all over it, and it's eventually kicked away from Louis Schroeder. Cancellero is trotting back for it. It's a great kick, extraordinary kick. It stopped just inside the line. What a chase!
Crouch.
Marcus Oliver Pimpe,
Bind.
and he puts him in the end goal. 5-metre scrum, Sharks. Well, 5-metre scrum to 5-metre scrum, and the Sharks putting on the oil here. That's a great shove. Schroeder to de Pree. Robert de Pree goes short to Esterhazen, who takes a big hit, and he goes tumbling to ground. Sharks though, just 4 metres short now. It's a pick up and go. Straight at the back from Esterhazen. And it's a turnover ball, back to the Jaguares, and Cabelli absolutely smashes us downfield. A driving punt goes well over halfway, away from the grasp of Cohen Bosch. And a superb punt from scrum half Thomas Cabelli. Gets a big bit of distance on that when the Sharks were really putting pressure on. Here that was Kieran Van Buren going to the back, and it's Tyler Paul that nicely claims it, and they decide they're going to put a bit of a drive on here, and the ball goes forward about 2 metres before it stops, and it's tracks, and Schroeder's knocked on! Oh, that is a big mistake from the experienced scrum half. And Majola jumps on it to kill any chance of a counter-attack, but the referee pulls it back. It's a big hit from none other than big number 8, Javier
Crouch.
Ortega Decio.
Bind.
The Sharks are getting,
Sit.
well, they're getting pummeled. They got ball in hand, and the Jaguares are certainly up for this task at the moment. They lead just 7-0, but they have dominated this opening stanza of the match. It's a great scrum. Now the Sharks start to get a little bit in their favour. Big hit there by the pack. Schroeder goes away to the prayer. Somehow offloads nicely to Azazen, who puts a kick away. That's disappointing when you've got a minute or two to go. Boffelli has space again, and Boffelli just about gets away from Nkosi. That's the wing he's targeting yet again. But this time, the winger is more than up to the challenge. Now wide it goes, Moroni away to De La Fuente. And a big tackle there on Geronimo De La Fuente. This could be trouble for Marcus Orta-Mapimpi. And what's that? It's a yellow card. No question about it there from the referee. And it is yellow card quickly dished out to the Sharks left winger, who have to do with 14 men for the rest of this half. It is quickly tapped though. Benitez in a real hurry to get this away, and he's given it to Leguzamon, who charges up outside his 22. A long way to go. They're going to try go length to length here, and they do. It's nicely done. Decio away to Kremer. Kremer going up towards halfway. Finds room out with Carreras. Carreras down the other side. Bosch in the chase. Oh, what a pass! Inside Geronimo De La Fuente, and that'll be a try to the Jaguares. What a finish from the home side, and the crowd were a factor before, but you better believe they are a huge factor now. They are singing in full voice as their side extends their lead by another 5 points. You've got to give massive applause here to Santiago Carreras for a brilliant piece of work down the left-hand side. What an offload infield to his inside centre partner De La Fuente. But Carreras was gunning in for the corner, but Kerwin Bosch, we know all about him, he is no slouch. And he forced Carreras towards the corner, but he was not expecting that absolute beauty of a pass infield. It's a hard pass to make, but he made it look easy. And De La Fuente was running a perfect line as well. Benicia with the conversion, they will send the two sides to half-time. The Sharks are man down, and they've suffered the full toll as they concede their second try of the first half. And they'll go to the break down by 14 points to 0. It is the Jaguares, the home team, in control and comfortably in front as we head to the sheds for half-time. Well, 14-0 is a score, and if you just watch that first half like we have, you'd say the Jaguares probably should be thinking they would be more ahead. But there's only 2 tries and 2 moments of brilliance as well that got them those 2 scores. They lead 14-0, but they've dominated every other facet of the match, probably you'd say, bar scrums. Possession is 75-25 to the home team. Territory a bit closer, but still almost 60-40 to the Jaguares. The Sharks have been made to do a lot more work in defence, 26 tackles and just 16. And the handling areas, you've got to say, good conditions out there, flat underground, nice and firm, and they have been pretty few and far between, just 3 mistakes between the 2 sides. Marcus Orta-Mapimpi's yellow card could be costly when we look at full time in this matchup, but as it stands right now, the Jaguares are doing it nicely and easily. They lead 14-0 over the Sharks, and they are currently sitting comfortably, ready to take that top spot in a home quarter final. That's what it's all about in this penultimate round of Super Rugby. So it is the dejected looking Kerwin Bosch making his way back to halfway to kick off the second half. His team trails the Jaguares 14 points to 0, but there's still a lot of time to get this back into their favours. It's a deep kick from Bosch, and it's straight down to Lavanini, who is no stranger to a bit of confrontation. And he charges straight at the first defender he can find, and he gets plenty of friends as well as they struggle. It's a slow ball here for the Jaguares, but it finally squirts back to Augustine Cleary, who finds the second try scorer, and it's De La Fuente who kicks this one long down to Kerwin Bosch, who's just short of his own 10-metre line. Kicks this one cross field, looks for someone to chase, but it is Decio who bulldozes through one. Moroni with a great ball away. Cancelero down the touchline. Here comes Bosch. Look out! But Bosch, very cleverly has diffused that situation, but he runs into more trouble there as Benicia comes across, and they have a bit of a tussle as they go over the sideline. Well, great work from Kerwin Bosch. He diffused that nicely as Cancelero was cantering down their right-hand touchline. but he was wise to the option of the grubber kick. Now the Jaguares have a line out. Cavalli goes away to Benicia, and he's going to run it. Oh, Benicia through the middle, and a great run too. Beats one defender, but it's the back rows covering. They take him down. Cavalli back to Crema, and Crema charges through. Great little run there from the man in the second row. Sets it up, 6 metres short. Creevy, away to Lavanini! Lavanini's over! Oh, great show of trial there from the big man in the second row. It was the two locks, Kramer and Lavanini, who made that all action and all fun for the Jaguares. Here is the number 4 Kramer. Look at him go straight through 3 defenders. Quick recycle ball. Creevy spots it, squirts it quickly out. Still support on his left. Carreras was waiting, but he didn't need him. He looked, he dummied, he faked, he fainted. But he didn't do it. He backed himself, he backed his power and he backed his acceleration, and he went through unscathed. Look at that, no one got within a whisker of Tomas Lavanini. Well, often in the headlines for all the wrong reasons is Lavanini. He's a lover of the yellow card, but this time he could well be the hero for the Jaguares as he trundles over for their 3rd try of this matchup. We still have half an hour to go on this fixture as well. 19-0 kick to come. And Diaz Bonissa puts it over without too much concern. A nice easy one just to the left-hand side of the uprights. And the Jaguares lead 21 points to 0 over the Sharks, who now have an even bigger mountain to climb. Well, Curran Bosch from the back has done his best, but he really hasn't been involved in this game as enough as he should be, as he kicks this one short, and it is Creevy who takes contact and pretty much puts it almost back to halfway. Cavalli goes to Matera, who's looking for Carreras. He gets him eventually as well. Carreras breaking free again, but he's up against Bosch. Chip over the top, Schroeder in the chase with Carreras. But Schroeder does very, very well. Oh, he's an old timely customer. There's Louis Schroeder, and he's diffused yet another attacking instance here for the Jaguares. And now's the chance the Sharks are back. It is through Robert Debré, who eventually going a lot sideways, doesn't find room. Mpimpi is back from the card after half-time, and they keep it tight to the Sharks. Bota taking in the tackle there. It's a little short passes between forwards. Schroeder goes backwards, and this time it is Daniel Debré who's taken down. They've lost a couple of metres here. Under the pump here of the Sharks, but they need to hang on to the ball as Schroeder gets another pass away. And this time, it's the other way around, the spotter to Schroeder, and they're now only about 10 metres out from their own line. Lacunio arm with a good little run there before he finds Robert Debré to take another little tackle. Pick and go, and they come out wide. Now there's some room for them as well. Byron Andrews, oh, he's away as the big man. Eludes one tackle with a test for Guzman, but it's wrapped up by the Jaguares. Too many numbers in chase, and the support play from the Sharks was nowhere near as good as it needed to be. The hour mark ticks over, and the Jaguares fly half. Benitez kicked that one. Oh my goodness me, perfectly into the corner. And this will be a 5-metre line out and a huge opportunity for the Jaguares to pile on the misery. What a great kick. Now, we've seen some great kickers for the corner in Super Rugby this season. That is another example of that. It's taken at the front, and Kramer's put backwards and turned over. Oh, dominant play at the line out, and Robert Debré goes straight through a gaping hole. Oh, so much support to his left. He had to pass it. He didn't release the ball. Sharks continue to attack. This time it's Schroeder having a little go by himself. And the Sharks, oh, they're not throwing enough numbers in here, and the Jaguares can see it. They turn it over once more. There goes Simon, running free. Benicia, split the line in half. Benicia puts in a grubber. It's a chance for Maroney, but it's again cleaned up. And Kerwin Bosch, boy, oh boy, he has earned every penny tonight. He has been under immense pressure for 68 minutes so far, and he has pretty much done himself no real insult at all. He has stepped up to the mark, all that could be necessarily asked of him. So the rest of his teammates are somewhat trailing behind as the Jaguares have the feed, and Tomas Cavalli puts it in, and it is Decio who's going to have a bit of run with it as well, and Decio goes close, but no one at home, and this time the Sharks have all the numbers there, and it is turned over and quickly to Robert Debré, who kicks this one very long. As long as he can as well. That is a big bit of pressure just unloaded off the Sharks' shoulders and down to the 10-metre line. Another line out this time for the Jaguares. Augustin Creevy to the front. Kramer this time gets it nicely down. Cavalli to Benicia. Benicia runs to the line. He puts, oh, he was lining up a big midfield bomb. And it's another yellow card. Oh, absolutely no question by the referee there. And this time it might be Lakunyuam, I think it is, who's departing us. Yes, he's gone! 2 yellow cards for the Sharks, and the Jaguares say no to 3. Benicia once more. What a kick! Oh my goodness me, he's having the game of his life. A massive punt from the Jaguares fly half, and he puts that one pinpointly in the corner once more. 5 metre line out, Cleavey throws into the back to Legusaman, and it's Kubeli who goes away to Cancelliere, who sets it up, throws a saver! Cancelliere! What a try for the Jaguares! That is pinpoint accuracy, but also rugby smarts of the highest quality. Mixing it up, putting their right winger right where it matters as well, and his fancy footwork proving to be too much for the Sharks defence. Look at him go, the inside step, takes out 2 defenders straight through, and no chance for the defence of Andre Esterhazen, and then Karen Bosch eventually takes him down. But this was beautiful to watch. Robert de Pree was there as well. There was 4 Sharks defenders, and they hardly stopped them at all. Great try from Sebastian Cancelliere. And we talked about at the start, the back 3 are going to be so dangerous, and we've seen excellent work tonight from Carreras, from Cancelliere, and of course from Buffelli. But the midfield's been not bad as well, and of course the work from this man. Benicia has been second to none, as that'll be the final say of this big match for round 17 of Super Rugby. The Jaguares 28, the Sharks absolutely nothing. 0 zip on the scoreboard. The Jaguares have done it, and they have taken first place on the South African Conference ladder, and they will be hosting a home quarter-final. Who will it be against? We will not know until the completion of round 18, but for now, they can rest easy knowing that they have done the hardest of jobs. They've made it into the top 4, and they will be hosting a home quarter-final in Argentina. Now the real work starts, however. They've done a lot of good work throughout the season, but there is still a lot to be done. A round 18 fixture followed up by a quarter-final. This is a great time to be an Argentinian rugby fan. The Jaguares have produced a great performance here, 4 tries to nothing, and they were all pretty good tries as well. You've got to say they were well established, well worked, and a lot of set-piece brilliance as well to get the jobs done. Tomas Lavanini, it is Geronimo De La Fuente, Sebastian Cancelliere, and of course Emiliano Buffelli with 1 try apiece. It was fly half Jacqueline Diaz Bonicia who was on fire with the boot as well. 4 out of 4 from the tee, and that completes a pretty good clean sweep of 28 points to 0. The Sharks will be absolutely distraught. They have been kept to a donut against the Jaguares. They played very, very well, the Jaguares, and they fully deserve all the rewards coming their way in 2019. Many believe that they will not be capable of this feat, but you can well tell them now, told you so, the Jaguares are home quarter-finalists. Hopefully we see plenty more from them this season as well, but for the round-robin play, they've done the job they needed to do. Having a look at how these stats wrapped up, the first half was near dominance by the Jaguares. The second, though, the Sharks did creep away back into it, a bit more possession. It was 75-25 at the break. They've crept in another 10%, but territory has swung the other way, with the Jaguares picking up a little bit more on their side from the second 40. The yellow cards certainly did not help the Sharks, with 2 yellows in the 80 minutes, 1 per half, 1 just before half time and 1 just before full time. 2 terrible times to concede yellow cards. Both sides made a considerable equal amount of tackles throughout the game, 35-40, but it was the line breaks that the Jaguares really dominated in 9-3. And you can't argue with how good and how dangerous that back line is. That does wrap us up for round 17 of Super Rugby. The Jaguares have done it, and they fully deserve all the plaudits and all the rewards coming their way. A great performance from the Argentinian franchise, and hopefully we see great things from them in the playoffs as well. That does do my time for today. I hope to see you all for our round 18 clash, which will be coming up very, very soon as well, following the round 18 fixtures. I hope you all enjoyed the game, and I hope to see you all next time as well. If you did enjoy it, do not forget to hit that thumbs up, and of course you can subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the action coming your way straight to you. Of course, I'll see you all next time as well. Until then, take care.